And then, of course, we're going to systemize the communications between yourselves, us, and the bank so that we make sure that everybody is on the same page at all times. Okay. So we gather this, the information. Step 2, of course, of the proposal is, like I said, writing a proposal that includes all of this gathered information, proving to the bank that their best option is to short sale the property, that they're not going to get as much if they foreclose as they do on a short sale. Just remember, banks are institutions in business for making money. Well, they've been told by the government to help the homeowners. They're only going to do it if they think that it's the best thing for them as well. Okay. And of course, we list the home. We develop a pricing strategy. 2 things to keep in mind. Right now, the lowest priced, best homes in the market or in the neighborhood are receiving offers. The market is what matters the most about the pricing structure. If we price the home even just a little above the bottom of the market, it won't sell until what's below it has in that same neighborhood. We don't list properties offering to make repairs for 2 reasons. 1, the bank is not going to agree to make any repairs. Reason 2, you are short selling the home for the primary reason that you can't afford to keep it. If you can't afford to keep it, you can't afford to fix it. If you start offering to fix things, then the bank is going to wonder why you're not paying them. Okay? So once we have the pricing structure and have it listed, we'll put it in the computer, all the normal things with listing a property. If we've priced it right, we should start showing and receiving offers for the property. Once we receive an offer, then we will show, of course, the offers to you, and you'll approve the offer, and then we'll get the best offer to the lender. Okay? The lender will order a BPO, a broker's price opinion, similar to an appraisal, but it's performed by another real estate agent. So they may contact you directly. They'll need to take pictures and other items to establish the value, and then that's what they use for their negotiation points. And then, of course, we're always trying to educate both sides, as the buyer included, so that they understand that this can be a long, drawn-out process, and they could be required to submit more information to us than normal, since the bank is going to want to know what their purpose for purchasing it is, because they negotiate differently with investors and residential owners. Okay. Once we have all the documents together, we're going to submit the proposal to the bank. We do this for both loans. If you have more than 1 loan, 2, 3 loans, we have to submit the proposal to all lenders. All lenders have to sign off on the loan, and so we will be preparing that for them. And then, of course, again, we're going to be following up with them on a regular basis, because they, just like us, are very busy. If we're not constantly following up with them, your house and offers wind up at the bottom of the stack, and they don't get pulled out until they either reach them by default or we call them again. Okay. Negotiating the deal. Go back to the BPO, what the bank thinks the value is compared to what the offer is that we received. And then if there are more than 1 lender involved, then of course we have to negotiate how much the first lender is willing to provide to them so that they can write off the loan and help you close the transaction. Again, we're going to be maintaining those lines of communication, and we do utilize some negotiating services just to help us so that we can make that process smoother for us and for you. Okay. All going well, all banks in agreement, we close the deal. This closing is very similar to when you purchased the home or sold a previous home. Everyone has to sign a lot of documents, and other than that, there are a couple other documents because the bank has to approve everything, so it does add a couple of days at the end of the transaction. Other than that, it's very normal. The one main difference, of course, is that the seller is not allowed to bring funds to closing, and they're also not allowed to receive funds when it closes. All remaining funds go to the first lender. A couple of points as to why you would want to perform a short sale instead of a foreclosure. If you allow the bank to foreclose on your home, you won't be allowed to purchase a home with a standard loan for another 5 to 7 years. With a short sale, that time period is shortened to 18 to 24 months. Foreclosure is on public record for 10 years and on your credit report. Short sale is not on public record. On a foreclosure, it shows us that you've defaulted on an obligation on your credit report. A short sale shows that you've renegotiated debt. Job and rental applications all ask about foreclosures. Common question, I'm sure you've seen it. Have you ever had a property foreclosed on? The answer, of course, if you've had a foreclosure, is always going to be yes. They don't ask about short sales. Of course, this may change due to the current economy and things that are happening, but we don't anticipate that it will. So for those few reasons, a short sale is just going to make it easier for you to transition to owning homes, not affecting your employment the same way that a foreclosure would, being able to find a nice rental for your family between now and when you can purchase again. There's a more expanded list in the packet. A lot of people ask us, of course, how does this affect me on my tax return? There's actually, in your packet, there's a full printout provided by a CPA. You can look over that. But in summary, there are two types of taxes that you'll be concerned with. One is capital gains tax, and one is ordinary income. The capital gains tax is based on the comparison between the purchase price, what you paid for the home and improvements, and the ultimate sale price of the home. Okay? If you've lived in the home more than 2 years, that difference can be up to $250,000 if you're single, or $500,000 if you're married, without causing a tax issue for you. If you make more than that, or you've lived in the home for less than 2 years, then you would wind up paying capital gains tax on whatever that difference would be. So let's say you purchased the home in 1990, you're selling it in 2009, you sold it for $200,000, there's a profit there of $100,000, there will not be a tax gain or tax issue for you. If you sell it for $375,000, there's a gain of $275,000. Then you'll wind up paying taxes on that extra $25,000 above the $250,000 if you're single. Okay? The forgiveness of debt, again, let's go back to that 1990 house. Purchased it in 1990 for $100,000. You refinanced it at the top of the market for $400,000. You sell it for $200,000 now. That difference of $275,000 is then going to be what you're taxed on at your ordinary income tax rate. Don't be alarmed. It sounds like a lot, and it can be. Two things that help mitigate that. One, the federal government does not charge taxes right now through the year 2013 on any property that is sold short for your primary residence. You won't have a tax issue. The state of California does charge taxes on it. It'll be at your normal income tax rate for California, unless you can prove that you're insolvent. Most people short selling their primary residence are insolvent. But again, you just need to talk to your tax professional for your specific situation. Everyone's situation is different. We're just trying to go over the common issues here. Okay. Again, we're not licensed tax preparers. We're not attorneys. We recommend that you speak to your trusted professionals that you're already working with. And I'd like to thank you very much for joining us in this seminar on short sales. My name is Parley Kennelly with Keller Williams, and we wish you a great day.